year ago, Hoover City Council members approved cutting the city's grocery sales tax from 3.5% to 3%.
And the decrease was meant to go into effect today, but it did not, and it's unclear if it ever will. ABC 3340's Aaron Wise joins us now. And Aaron, why is there a delay?
Muriel, it has to do with the law that was passed last year to reduce the state sales tax on groceries. There are provisions in that law related to local reductions of local sales tax on groceries. The sponsor of that 2023 legislation tells me that those provisions were put in the law at the request of the League of Municipalities in order to safeguard local revenues.
Unfortunately, the state came back and told us that we didn't have the authority to lower it by half cent.
The city of Hoover says they did not meet the requirements laid out in state law to reduce its local sales tax on groceries from 3.5% to 3%. In the 2023 grocery tax reduction law to reduce the state sales tax, there are provisions related to local sales tax on groceries, such as prohibiting any additional local tax on food. The law also says any county or municipal government may by resolution or ordinance reduce the general or retail sales tax rate on food for local sales and use taxes by 25% in any year in which the growth in the municipality's or county's general fund exceeds 2% over the prior year. The city says in order to comply with the 25% reduction of the tax rate, Hoover needed to agree to lower the local sales tax on groceries to just over 2.6%. Not 3%. The state legislature passed its bill in June of 2023. The city of Hoover approved its tax cut in October of 2023.
Did no one read what the 2023 state bill said before enacting or going forth with what Hoover wanted to do on the local end?
Well, of course, we have our legal team who advises us, and no, I don't think anywhere in the state law did it say that 25% was the number that you had to go with. It said up to 25% or something, so we were unaware that you didn't have any leeway between that 0 and 25%.
Additionally, the city did not meet the general fund growth requirements. Hoover City Councilor Casey Middlebrook says they will have discussions with state lawmakers about amending the law. The sponsor of the 2023 bill, Representative Danny Garrett, explains the provisions for the local tax on food was added into the bill at the request of local governments as a protection.
The state sales tax rate is the second lowest in the country. Most of the sales tax that people pay in Alabama is at the local level. And I think they were concerned that there would be a demand or a push to reduce their revenue by an equivalent amount. And of course, they're taxed by an equivalent amount. And of course, the state and locals are heavily dependent upon sales tax revenue because they're limited in their ability to raise other taxes.
Garrett didn't foresee the legislature altering the law in order to meet the 25% tax rate cut in the law. Middlebrook says it would cost the city $3.5 to $4 million in revenue a year.
Is that something that you think that the city of Hoover could absorb?
If you would have asked me that last year, I would have probably said yes. We have obligations now that we didn't have last year. We're also seeing a flattening of tax growth that we didn't see last year. So now I think it honestly would be very difficult for us to absorb that loss.
Hoover City Council will officially repeal that tax cut at next Monday's meeting and reinstate the previous ordinance. Live in Hoover, Aaron Wise, ABC 3340 News.